Good evening everybody and welcome back here to the T-Mac Fitness Workshop and for another video. Before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and you can ring the bell for notifications of new videos. If you don't, new videos are of course up every Friday at 11:30 AM. This evening on the video what I want to talk about is face pulls. Now usually face pulls is done maybe off a cable, but here in the workshop at the moment we don't actually have a cable machine, so what we do our face pulls off is actually a band, and we make sure the band is correctly tied up maybe to either a bar or the rack itself. And now face pulls is probably one of my favourite exercises, and way back when I was starting, one of my favourite YouTube channels is AthleanX, and Jeff Cavalier always says that face pulls is probably one of maybe the most important exercises you can do. Back then I probably only used it maybe just as a warm-up, which it is great for a warm-up, but since then as I progressed it's actually become quite stable in my programming, to even with myself and to give to people. It's a great for the rear of the shoulders, the posterior deltoids, your upper back as well, and of course it's a great exercise then for kind of maybe pulling your shoulders back and strengthening up that back, because with sedentary lifestyles and now with people sitting around and things, shoulders kind of come round over, especially being on computers, laptops and phones and stuff like that. So it's a great exercise to have, and like I said, it's great to put in at the start as a warm-up if you're not doing say a back day, but it also is a very good back exercise in its own right. Now the setup is important, just to make sure it's well tied in, well supported on either a rack or something that's not going to move on you, of course, once you're using a band. When you're using cables, you're more than likely to use the rope, which some people use maybe for tricep pull downs and things. So that'll be, and just make sure the arm or the pulley of the cable crossover is set at a good level where you're going to bring the pulley towards your face, because they're called face pulls. So kind of what a lot of mistakes I see maybe are people doing maybe too low or too high, or even bring them in with the knuckles facing forward like that. So what you want to do on the band is try and find a band that's of decent resistance, that's going to work you, and also where you hold it as well, because the bigger stretch is on the band, the harder that's going to be. So you kind of find your sweet spot. So as you're bringing it back, bring that band up to the face, and what you want to do is try and point those thumbs backwards, so you're actually kind of turning your arms upwards. So like I said, one of the mistakes is kind of bring it back in, which will be more or less kind of a back row, which is also of course a good exercise. But for the face pulls, you want to bring those hands up, probably aiming towards the thumb, aiming towards the ear, squeeze the back in at the top and back out. So if you were doing that even on the cables, you'll still be doing the same idea, you'll be pulling it towards you. One of the other things I see is people maybe leaning back too far, or not even leaning back at all. For me, the way I like to do it is probably facing, standing up nice and straight, pulling it back maybe towards your nose, keeping those thumbs back, little finger pointed upwards, and squeezing it back in. Like I said, it's a great exercise to do at the start, just to warm up, even if you're doing shoulder day, back day, but it's also a very good exercise to put in as a workout. Of course, if it's in your main phase of your workout, you're probably going to look for the sets and reps be a little bit higher. The band will be maybe a little bit harder because you want to work yourself. If it's in the warm-up, it might be slightly less resistance on the band. You might do maybe a set of 12 just to try and warm up. But it is a very good exercise, and you feel it straight away on the back, and especially towards maybe the inside of your upper back. Them muscles are important there, and this one works it really well. Where you go maybe to a back rope, which I've done a video on as well, it's probably mostly the bigger muscles in the back, and it's not really getting the shoulders back in position either. But this will help you on your back day to kind of stack your shoulders back so that you have a good pull, the same maybe with the one arm row. Like I said, I've seen videos, and I might see if I get one and link it in the description below as well, from AthleanX if you want to check him out, explain it too. He's one of the best fitness YouTube videos out there. And that's, like I said, that's where I got it. And he's on YouTube maybe for the last 10 years or so. But like I said, he does do with the bands and with the cables now. If you're in somewhere with cables, it is great exercise to do with the cables. But it is important to make sure you have the right technique, and like I said, that you don't end up coming down just into kind of a standard back row or having the elbows tight, which might activate the lats a little bit more. You really want to try and get in that centre of the upper back. So that was just a quick video tonight, just to show you one of those exercises. And it's great to add in the warm-up, like I said, or in your main phase. Just make sure your technique is right and the band is coming towards your face. You have a nice angle on your body, like that you're not leaning too far back. And it is of good resistance so that you get a nice pull and squeeze shoulder back. And all it is just get them muscles at the top of the back and the back of the shoulder. Just try and get your posture opened up, squared off, which is very important. Like I said, for people working on laptops, leaning over, hunching over, you might be tight in the chest as well, and that just helps you open back up, keep the shoulders back, and you will find it a great exercise to add in. So this evening is just like a quick video, just wanted to show you that because I've been using the workshop since we started here, and it's probably when I started doing the videos is all the main exercises, I suppose the big exercise people want to see, like the back row squat and deadlift. I want to teach you points in that as well. And sometimes exercises, because they look so simple, like the back or like the face pull, and they kind of forgotten about. And it's not that fancy of an exercise, but it is important. You could nearly do face pulls maybe every day before every session. It's probably ideal to do. So some days do them as warm up, some days do them in your main phase. But it is a great exercise for that, the middle of the back, getting the back good and strong as well. So that's our video done for this evening. Another one done and dusted. Please call back in next Friday and there'll be another one. Coming up at Christmas as well is my 1 rep max testing video. I'll be doing that myself around the last Monday before Christmas, because that's usually my bench day. So I'll be doing my bench, deadlift and squat, 1 rep max testing that, and I have some figures that I want to hit, and then hopefully the first Friday after Christmas then that video will be up and you can check it out and see how I got on. Once again, thanks for watching, hope you learned something, and once again please subscribe to the channel. Thanks.